guys, my name is Jo Rogers and I am the CEO of Navistar Legal. And today I'm talking to Adi Kaimowitz of Virtual Actuaries, who is talking to me about his personal life, a little, not necessarily a personal life, but personal philosophies. And I've asked him to join us just to share a little bit about some of the successes, some of the routines that he has during the day, and some of the philosophies that he has, particularly at this moment in time. So, Adi, over to you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you very much. I have had my morning routine, and I believe very strongly that a healthy body is a healthy mind.
Yes.
Now, even though that sounds like absolute garbage, the reality is what that translates into is when dealing with any scenario, a phone call and a nasty email from a client, anything. Oh my God, like I didn't realize we were going to get taxed so much. Like anything that you go through, you don't want to be dealing with anything as like a nervous wreck. So a healthy body is a healthy mind really will just, kick off those natural endorphins in your head to just calm you and just, deal with it like a responsible person. And, that's everything from, drinking water and making sure you're hydrated to eating as healthy as you can so that your chemical levels don't spike in your body from just eating junk food and so coffee is very important for me. Some people don't drink coffee, but for me, it's very, very important. So, my philosophy really is I try to, go to sleep as early as I can. I'm not out partying and drinking, and I think that over the space of like a 1 or 2 year period, the concept should hold true that I should be more level-headed when dealing with anything. So that's kind of my philosophy.
Do you meditate?
So meditating is a good word. So there's 2 forms of meditation. The first one is prayer. So prayer is actually meditation. So I pray every morning. Okay. And then secondly, for me, like gym is meditation.
Right.
So I like to listen to dance music. I'm 42 years old. So I'm an old school sort of like clubber. So, I try to listen to breakbeat or I can't remember dubstep, but that stuff is like for crazy people. So I actually stopped listening to it a few years ago. It was making me like, So so that's not meditation. So I've realized I like to listen to some nice dance music, and then I have a home gym that I bought about 3 weeks ago. Luckily, I got in just before the lockdown. It's quite an extensive, like what they call a 3-phase. So it's got quite a lot there. And then I listen to the music while I'm training. Very important. So for me, that's like there's a moment there normally. And I do a lot of my best thinking when I'm training. Yes, I'm on the phone with, the actuaries and, dealing with, 1 or 2 things. But yeah, that's like meditation for me. Without that, I'd probably be more fidgety and like more irrational. Yeah, meditation is very important. And then sometimes I walk outside, there's sunlight. At the moment, the song peaks, you're just thinking to yourself, I hope the neighbors can't see me now because they must think I'm a crazy person, like standing there with my arms out, spinning around in the sun.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, I guess it must be sunny there, right? You're in South Africa, so I think you have different weather to the UK, is my experience. It's a little bit rainy out there for us today, but yeah, I love a bit of sunshine in the skin. What myth? No, actually, there was one thing that when we talked last, you said, I don't ever take on mentors. Tell me about that philosophy. I'm curious because I love mentors and I find them really useful. So share more with me about why you don't.
Well, so the first thing is I believe that there's 2 things here. Number one is the philosophy of take a mentor for yourself, which is important. No one knows everything. In fact, you probably know nothing. I mean, like, who the hell do you think you are? You're not a multi-millionaire or a billionaire. So there's always somebody that you can get advice from. So unfortunately, I could never really find anybody that I really, really looked up to that I believed was super successful, and that if I had an issue, I could go to them and I would get sound advice. Because I did try over the years to get some, some mentors, but every so often I would reach out to them, and then the problem was I thought the advice was like, bleh. I didn't think it was good advice.
Right.
Years ago, the one mentor, said to me, La, what do you think? New business, go get a job. I was like, yeah, I'm dumping you as a mentor, So unfortunately, I never really picked up a good mentor. Although I have been searching and I never really found anybody. That's the first thing. It's very important to have a mentor. I just haven't, unfortunately, found somebody that I really, really look up to. Okay. Like there's no point in having a mentor who's a good business person, but then, is out like, being non-family like.
Right.
Because then they're actually a bad mentor. Then they'll make you do naughty things, which, I'm a family person. So, there's a balance there. It also goes to the heart of who do you choose as your icon? When I was younger, my icons were people who were like, quick and, kind of like flashy. And so I changed that as well, more sort of the family orientated type people became my icons. It actually changed my life when I looked at it. And then I think going back, it goes to a topic which is known as self-reliance. There's definitely a tie in there. Now, my default, I want to be self-reliant. Self-reliance is a lot of things. It's the you as a brand that we've spoken about, and self-reliance as a business person. No one's gonna, no one's gonna make that healthy sandwich for you. You have to be self-reliant. So, if my default is I'm faced with an issue, I have the confidence that I don't need to always run it past somebody. I'm self-reliant. I stand on my own 2 feet. I don't have any safety nets or anybody I can rely on. I'm self-reliant. So unfortunately, it doesn't really match very well with the whole concept of mentors, because, the whole mentor thing is, well, I'm faced with an issue, but before I make my decision, I'm going to run it past my mentor, just get their okay or get their insight. Like, I don't have that situation. I'm more self-reliant, but however, I would love to have somebody that I could tap into, and I believe that person will come, and I'll find that person, and then the self-reliance and the mentor thing will balance itself out. So these kind of few concepts all mixed together.
There's an element of confidence there as well, isn't there? There's like a self-confidence in knowing and trusting your decision, even though it is hard. I mean, the thing that I find most helpful is being able to reach out and double guess something or double check something with someone. And they don't need to necessarily be a mentor. They can just be somebody who's in my industry or who knows the person that I'm frustrated with, or that I can just confidentially say, okay, this is the challenge that I'm going through. How do you deal with challenges without, or do you talk to other people about your challenges?
So it's an excellent question. So I get my inspiration from everyone. I get my inspiration from. You give a homeless person some money, you see them breaking it and sharing with somebody next to them, whatever, if you're giving them food, oh my God, like I need to be more sharing. Like, doesn't matter who I think that person is, at a soul level, that person could be the king of Egypt. Or not, that's a bad example, but their soul could be amazing. It just so happens they're a homeless person. Doesn't mean that you can't learn from them. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, one also has to be quite strong when dealing with internal colleagues that maybe have an older mindset of how things should be done. Now, if you're trying to break and disrupt the market to a point where you are the biggest company in the industry in that market, not many people will understand what it actually takes to do that. And when faced with a challenge, those who are internal colleagues, internal, not external, internal, it's a bit, I think we shouldn't approach the situation like that. The clients might feel it's not proper. Oh, excuse me, not proper. Well, let me tell you, in my belief, the clients don't know what they actually want. Because if they did, they wouldn't all be sitting at home at the moment. They would have set up their businesses to work more digitally. So when I explain to the clients that I would insist that we work more digitally and actually remind the clients that Zoom is better than their internal mechanism that they use, which doesn't work, the internal conflict, you don't want to bother the clients. Let them use their system. There's a moment there. So no, It is not correct. Our system is better. I will be brave and I will approach the client and mention to them why I believe it's more important that we rather do this. They can choose not to do it, but I'm not going to cower away from being brave because internal people or external people, that's not how things are done in our industry. So self-reliance and being your own mentor is having the confidence to say that if you want to change an industry, you have to unfortunately take it on the chin when introducing new concepts, new ways of doing things, and so on. Now, if I had to, my default was, I don't want to shake up the industry. I don't want to upset people. Then you would never push through. We would have been in the same situation as everybody else from a digital perspective. In fact, that is not the case. And now people realize we were right. So, that's a little bit about self-confidence and how, going through your putting your foot down and saying, I believe we should do this. And this is why. But then at the end of the day, the decision to do it or not to do it must rest with you.